all so much for being here at Yampa Valley Sustainability Council's summer internship closeout presentations. My name is Dakota Dolan, and I'm the Forest Resilience Projects Manager with YVSC, and I also have the pleasure of running our internship program. I'm so excited and thrilled for these 4 individuals to share with you what they've been working on this term. I've been so inspired by this group. They've just been so engaged and friendly and dedicated, and I'm just very inspired by them. So I'm very excited for them to share what they've been working so hard on. And for anyone who is not familiar with the program, YVSC hosts a 12-week professional experience for young professionals and students to gather the experience that they need from a local nonprofit, kind of as a full-on staff member. So we give them the responsibility of an independently led project. They're paired with a staff mentor, and through this process, they come up with a project with deliverables and outcomes that they're hoping will advance our programming as an organization. So it's a very important role that you play, and I'm so honored that I got to be part of this. And with that, before we begin, we'll have a few words from our Executive Director, Michelle Stewart.
Thank you so much, Cody, for the great introduction to the program and everyone for joining today. Thank you to our stellar interns for your awesome work this quarter, or this term. So they are 12-week terms, and I'd say that for most staff, I'd say board and staff probably, these final presentations are such inspiring, energizing, just probably one of our 3 favorite days of the year. There are 3 of them, but this is probably going to be the best one because it really showcases the power and the impact that our youth leaders bring to this work. And so it really is a strong mooring of the program, is that we're really trying to find ways to connect and engage those rising leaders that really are going to help build the future that we all need and the one that we're working towards today. So my name is Michelle Stewart. Thank you for coming and for being part of the celebration of these final presentations. I've been the Executive Director at Yampa Valley Sustainability Council now for 4 years. And just this past Tuesday, actually, we had the great pleasure of having a conversation with Senator Bennett to join for a conversation that was focused on climate resilience, climate action. So really thinking about mitigation and adaptation and the important work that we have on the table today. And that's really the work that we're also doing as an organization. So we're guided by the mission to serve as a leader, resource, and catalyst for building a sustainable and resilient Yampa Valley region. And really at our core is climate action. So finding ways to enact actions that both reduce greenhouse gas emissions and build resilience to changes that are already here and those that are coming. Namely in Colorado, we really see that as increased temperatures, which is causing drying. And so everything we can do to shift our systems away from fossil fuels and everything we can do to invest in our land and water-based climate solutions like planting trees, increasing our understanding of change, all of it really matters. And so that's why this internship program is such an inspiring and important part of how we operate as an organization, because so much of it is knowledge transfer, but also climate work is really about all of us coming together and bringing our capabilities and our inspiration and everything that we're really wanting to build and doing that work together. So we're super excited, no pressure. This is probably the friendliest audience you'll ever have. So I really invite all participants, please think of good questions. We'll have time after the presentations to ask questions. You'll have lots of them. And then, of course, it's just a really wonderful reflection of the great work you've done over this 12-week term. So we're delighted, and it's my great pleasure to welcome our first speaker, and thank you all for coming.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Darby Martinez. I'm the summer 2024 Colorado Green Business Network intern. And I'm excited to show you today my intern project. I created a GIS story map for the YVSC webpage that highlights the Colorado Green Business Network. So today you're going to hear me say Colorado Green Business Network a lot, but I'll also reference it as CGBN, and I'll also say Yampa Valley Sustainability Council as YVSC. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Steamboat. This is a photo, the top photo is a photo of me at Steamboat Springs High School my senior year during a playoff game. I'm currently a junior at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, where I'm studying agricultural and applied economics with certificates in life science communication, sustainability, and leadership. This summer, I took a trip to Banff National Park up in Canada, as you can see on the far right, where I took a climbing and camping trip. I love to play soccer, basketball, pickleball, I love to go camping, anything outside, and I've been fortunate enough to grow up here. Some staff mentors: Michelle Stewart, the Executive Director of YVSC, Dakota Dolan, the Forest Resilience Projects Manager and the Intern Manager, and Ashley Dean, the Senior Manager for Collaborative Initiatives. She was also my personal mentor. Some partners with the Colorado Green Business Network, as well as certified green businesses of the Yampa Valley. A green business is typically thought to manage a product or service that helps the environment directly. Tree planting or composting comes to mind, and while those are green businesses, so can any business that wants to be sustainable. So a green business is a business that balances the needs of the people, planet, and the economy, all while still being profitable. The Colorado Green Business Network is a free government program that provides businesses with help finding funding, grants, and easy ways to reduce their carbon footprint. YVSC is the local branch partner and helps Yampa Valley businesses get in touch and provide ways to become a green business. Project objectives for me was to increase the accessibility and interest for the Colorado Green Business Network homepage for the YVSC. So I created a story map, and a story map is I'll show you the example of it, but it is a fluid, engaging, interactive tool that combines photos, sustainable initiatives, testimonials, and highlights local businesses specifically. And then how I did this was I reached out to local businesses to review their goals and initiatives towards sustainability. And I educated myself and others about the benefits of joining the Colorado Green Business Network. So the methods on how I did this was I created a GIS story map. And if you don't know what that is, GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems. And like I said, the story map can combine photos, videos, information, text, links, anything to kind of make it this fun online tool. I conducted interviews to 24 registered businesses. I heard back from 9, and of the businesses that I didn't hear back from, I compiled answers from their surveys from the Colorado Green Business Network Green Business Tracker. And the Green Business Tracker is what all of the businesses have to register for when they want to become part of the green business. So, and I explored practical ways to implement sustainability for business. So this was easy ways that they can reduce their carbon footprint and stuff like that. And this was presented in a blog post that I did on easy ways to be green, as well as the best practices page for my story map. So now we're gonna take a little journey to my story map. We're good, don't worry. Okay, so this is my story map. It's going to be dropped on the CGBN page for YVSC's homepage. And I'm just going to scroll down a little bit to see what it looks like. But the cool thing about this was I got to be creative and kind of add in my own photos, add in my own flair to it, and make it creative as much as I wanted to, which was super fun. So the majority of these photos are mine, which is pretty cool. You'll see a couple photos I took from a hot air balloon a couple years ago, which was cool. A new angle of the valley, I'd say. What is a green business? So I kind of already went over this one, but so I'll keep scrolling down. But I'm not going to go through everything today, but I implore you to please go on the website and look at everything that is on here. So then we get right into registered businesses. So like I said, registered businesses are any businesses that have applied to be a green business and are part of our program. So you can see the little map right here with all the little different areas, as well as all the current members of the green business. So you can click on any one of these and it will zoom in exactly where it is on the map, as well as provide a little blurb about what it is, if they have any current sustainable practices, as well as a link. And that's for all of the points right there, which is pretty cool. And then we scroll down into recognized businesses. So recognized businesses are the businesses that have taken steps to become a green business. They've implemented sustainable policies or taken surveys or done energy audits, which earn them points. And the points are based on these different tiers. And there's gold, silver, bronze, and then just the baseline. And so the recognized businesses are all the silver and bronze members. We have 4 silver members and 7 bronze members as of this year. And to apply for recognition or just to apply to be a registered business, there's 4 parts. It includes the welcome survey, policy and leadership, resource reduction, and then the submission agreement. And then here highlights the recognition tiers a little bit. And there's a ton of links embedded, so if you're interested at all, there's tons of links throughout this. I'm just gonna highlight one of these. Let me see if I can move the Zoom. So Cowgirl Compost Co. is a community-focused business that captures organic resources, food, and vegetative waste to make compost. Cowgirl Compost serves residential and commercial customers in Routt County and provides drop-off and pickup collections for food scraps. These organic resources are returned to the community as high-quality compost. The process keeps food and vegetation from becoming waste by handling it as nature intended in a full circular system. So a quote by Wynn Kalman, which is Cowgirl Compost founder, says, "Recycling organics through composting is a simple way to do something tangible every single day to make the world better for future generations." So each of the recognized business either has a quote, a current goal that they're working on, or a sustainable initiative that they have in place, which is super cool. So they're a certified silver, and I'm not going to read through all of them because I would keep you here all day, but I'm just going to scroll through a bunch of them. And as you can see the different types of businesses. There's small businesses, nonprofits, and even large companies up to Steamboat Resort, which I think is pretty cool that these can all be different types of businesses. Scrolling through. The next part we will get to is why join now? And this is just a section for interested businesses. Once I get through that, why join now? This is for interested businesses that want to learn more about the Colorado Green Business Network. So there's many different reasons. Just a few of them are resource and financial savings, funding opportunities, legislation, consumer demand, certification, and the community that it brings. You can see that's a photo from the room we're in right now. And the last thing was the best practices. These are just some easy ways for green businesses to become a green business. Oh, I just skipped one, but it was, sorry, I can't see where it is because the Zoom's here. There we go. Save energy. We're just gonna move that. Calculating your carbon emissions, there's a link. Transportation, that's a vote of my friends on Yampa Street. I thought it was a cool video. And then waste management. And so that's the end of my story map, but please look at it if you ever have time. It's on the website. And we'll go back into full screen, hopefully. Perfect. So I just showed you my story map, and the other thing that I wanted to highlight was my story map video guide. I learned a lot about this from Nicole Pepper. She was our GIS specialist, and she taught me everything that I know about story mapping, how to design it and do the layout and all of that. And so I figured if somebody had to edit my story map, which they're going to do, and hopefully we have more silver and hopefully one day gold businesses, I was like, how are they going to do this? So I made a how-to video. It's 20 minutes long. I'm not going to play it today because that would be really boring, but it highlights how to edit a story map as well as create your own from scratch and how to insert photos and everything like that. So I thought that was a really cool deliverable that I just came up with in this last week. My key takeaways were obviously the knowledge of GIS mapping properties, which I was able to pass along, and hopefully staff and other interns can use that video, and an increased knowledge of government programs available for local businesses interested in sustainability. So the Colorado Green Business Network is a fantastic resource that I personally had no idea about, and it's really cool to see locally what they can do, but it's also like statewide what they're doing, which is amazing. Other projects I attended were tree planting, the Climate Serve Showdown, which is Emmy's project. You'll hear about it later. I attended staff meetings. I really appreciated the staff meetings because we started off every meeting by everybody shares what has filled up their cup lately. So it's really interesting to see the lives of all the other staff members and learn a little bit about them. And then we shared, and then they talked about what they're currently working on, and then everybody would collaborate on it and help them, which was really cool. I attended a Colorado Green Business Network workshop, which was really interesting. One of the cool things I learned, there was a question and a guy raised his hand and he said, we were talking about grants and funding available for switching your lights to a more sustainable option. And he raised his hand and he said, I work from home, is that still available? And the answer was yes. So he was able to apply for a grant to receive funding to change his lights to be more sustainable at home, because that was his business. So that was really cool. And then I helped set up Insight, Art for Climate Action. My personal takeaways, communication and collaboration with the team. I didn't really work with the team, but I would say my other interns, we were all a team. We'd get together every single week and we would talk about what we've been doing and kind of work with each other on how to make things better, which was cool. Managing an independent project. I've learned that I'm not good at home working, so you can always find me at a coffee shop or the library or the office whenever I had to work. Graphic design, layout, and formatting. I learned that I like to be creative and have my own spin on things, and it was fun to be able to put my own photos on the story map. Communicating with local businesses in the community. They don't always reply after the first one or the second email, so sometimes I have to call them too, and then that helps people reply. I really appreciated YVSC's open door office. So whenever I walked in, I had at least 1 or 2 people saying hi to me, including 1 or 2 dogs that would greet me. There was always dogs running around, which was amazing. And I appreciated that I could always go into anyone's door and ask for help. And my interest in local government. We had 2 people come and speak. One of them is currently running for Route County Commissioner, and the other is a current member of city council, and they're both young female professionals, and I was really inspired by them because it was cool to see how much they cared about our local community. Yeah, what did I learn? I learned that the work is not done. I was like, if you saw on that map, there was 23 businesses in Steamboat and 1 in Craig, and none in Hayden or anywhere else in the Yampa Valley. So I think it'd be really cool if businesses can use my story map on the YVSC page to see what other businesses are doing and to see that any business can become a green business if they want to become sustainable. I want to acknowledge Nicole Pepper. She helped me with the GIS story map, and she was our GIS specialist. So thank you, Nicole. I want to thank Cody. She's the Forest Resilience Projects Manager, and she dealt with the interns every single week. She had a smile on her face for all of our meetings, and she was super. Thank you, Cody. And Abby Vandergraft, she's the communications manager and specialist, and she was my personal grammar specialist and writing support. Without her, wow, there'd be a lot of grammar mistakes, including, yeah, okay. Anyway, I really appreciate you, Abby, so thank you. And thank you, Yampa Valley Sustainability staff, for making this such a fun internship. I really had a great summer, so thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Of the 9 businesses that did respond back to you, did they give you any information that you found really interesting? Anything like that? And what would you say was the barrier of the other organizations not responding to you?
I'd say, so what people sent me, we had kind of a script with like different questions, and it was a PDF that people could edit. And there was probably like 7 questions on there, and so they filled that out, and a lot of them was super helpful, including what does it mean to you to be a green business? And so you can see that on a lot of the recognized businesses, they're highlighted what their exact quote is. And then when I followed up with people, a lot of them are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I just slipped through, like I totally meant to reply to you. And I was like, yep. And they're like, summer's a busy time, so I understand that. But the surveys were a great resource because it's how they submit their data to the Colorado Green Business Network. So I took that, and it shows me what their goals are, what they've currently done, and then what they're working on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So apologies if you already covered that, but how is it funded? I mean, when you get these businesses, I mean, this is great advertisement for them, obviously. I mean, do they pay for that, or is that something that's paid for with like local government type money?
It's paid for by the state government, so it's funded by Colorado, and I don't know how many branches there are, but there's definitely more than 10 branches around Colorado of different, and we're just the local branch, so it's funded through the state. It's state funding, and all of the grants and funding available is through the state,
Okay.
which is cool. Yeah.
So in a sense, they're rewarded for their green businesses in terms of getting free exposure and hopefully getting more customers.
Yeah, and all of the workshops and everything like that are free, which is super cool. So they can come and learn, and then all of the resources are free. They have audits that are discounted and other stuff that they can do in order to, yeah, be more sustainable. Thank you. Yeah. Question in the back.
So I was curious, like, I don't know how many businesses there are in this area, but presumably there's very few that are part of this right now. So in order for there to be more, do you think there needs to be like basically mandates by different kinds of legislations that forces them to do these things? Or do you think this will go just because of, you know, public demand? And
I think Steamboat's a very eco-friendly town and people want to try and help the environment as much as we can. We live in such a beautiful place that I feel like a lot of businesses are encouraged to join just out of trying to help out just a little bit. I think legislation forces people to do stuff and that doesn't always get things done. So hopefully providing people with what other businesses have done will help them see how easy it is and how cost effective it can be for their business. And you had one right there.
I was curious with regard to the Colorado Green Business Network, what that index or milestone is to be a gold member that's so challenging, or what would be what's the aspiration to get to that level?
So it's like I said, it's a point system. So there's certain points that you can earn. Once you like initiate a bunch like sustainable practices, that gets you to a certain point, and then once it's like throughout your entire business, once everything is green and you've looked at every piece of you've looked at recycling and waste and also your lighting and also your cars and your transportation, and once it's like fluidly sustainable, then I believe I would say a gold business. That's not 100%, but that would be my guess, is just by receiving the most points in the most areas that you can. Because there's different points received for policy, but also transportation, so yeah.
Ashley's got her hand up too. I don't know if she has a comment on that or a question, but do you want to go ahead, Ashley?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, first of all, thank you so much. This looks so great. And it's a deliverable we needed for the USDA grant. And I think it's gonna be such a great resource. And you put a lot of work into it and really made the most of it. And I love all your photos and videos. And I know it was tricky to kind of get responses back. And as the story map as a tool itself, you know, hopefully it's something that we're going to be able to use sort of for marketing purposes going ahead. When you started the project, you did a little bit of research sort of on like best practices or things that worked well in other story maps. Is there anything else you would have done with the site if you had more time, or things we should think about as we continue to build it out as a tool kind of moving forward? Otherwise, you did an awesome job and we're excited to have it. So thank you. And it is live on the website now, so people can check it out.
If I had more time, there's definitely a bunch of things that I would add. More horizontal swiping, which is what you saw at the very bottom. I would add more of the best practices. I think there's a ton to explore there, as well as just lost my train of thought. Yeah. We'll just stick with that for right now. Thank you, Ashley. That was Ashley Dean. That was my mentor for this entire project. So thank you, Ashley, for everything that you've done. And then any more questions?
Yes.
One more, Michelle.
What am I? Well, great job. Really excellent project and great articulation via your presentation. And in your words and based on your experiences with the internship, what would you say is the benefit of businesses, you know, as being leaders and catalysts for climate action?
I'd honestly I think one of the biggest things is the community that it brings, because you not only have YVSC with you, but you also have all the other local community or businesses that are registered. So I think that by joining that, everyone can help each other become more green. And yeah, I think the community part is really cool.